Because time is so limited, to some extent we all have to judge books based on their covers in order to pick them up. And, in theory, the better the story, the more the cover artist was paid for the design. I decided to put this theory to the test, to see, once and for all, if we should be judging books by their covers. In order to make this as random as possible, I enlisted the help of my brother and told him to pick 10 books off my shelf at random for a YouTube video. As if to prove it was random, and because he's my brother, he ended up picking not one, but 2 books that were on my TBR. This meant that instead of taking a few hours to make, this video took 3 whole days. But anyway, over to the cover ranking. Bottom of the list, on principle, is this cover for Jekyll and Hyde. This cover is here simply because I have a bone to pick with it. Throughout the entire book, Hyde is depicted as smaller than Jekyll, yet in this cover, he is bigger. Even at the end of the book, Hyde's still shorter. Next up is the cover for The Housemaid's Secret. Now, I get that the whole eye through the keyhole is part of the series aesthetic, and I might be mistaken, but I can't remember a single moment during The Housemaid's Secret where anyone was peering through a keyhole. I know that some people don't like people on the covers, and I'm fine with them to a point. If the story is more of an intimate first-person narrative, then it would make sense to have a picture of that person. However, whilst I'm not adverse to having people on covers, this one was executed poorly. For one thing, it's just a singular eye on the spine, and for the other, the girls in the book are 17. This cover was just really basic. It could have been any spy novel if it weren't for the small young blonde crest, barely visible in the corner. When you look at the other covers in the series, you'll get what I mean. The cover of the first book was amazing for the Young Blonde brand. If I Wake is next, with the face on the cover working perfectly for the intimacy of the book. The cover perfectly captures the book, a girl looking beyond, and I have no pointers. In contrast to all the other covers, Extra was the best in the series, with a central eye-catching design. Also, yellow and black is just such a great colour palette. Now I have Cuckoo's on cover, and I love the detailing on this. Certain aspects of the main character's being, I don't really want to give any spoilers, are displayed on this cover, and if you read the book, you will understand what I mean. I just love the Lara Jean cover. It's such a cozy aesthetic with the warm colours, and it fits the book so perfectly. The Ghost Gardens cover is one of the few really detailed ones selected, and it gets a boost to second place because this cover tells a story. I really love detailed covers, and this is the kind that the more you look at it, the more of the plot it tells you. First place goes to 5 Feet Apart, because the design is just gorgeous. Of all the imagery in this book, this was the one picture that had to be on the cover, and I'm so glad this cover brings her sister's drawing to life. Okay, now I've ranked the covers first to last, it's time to rank the most important part, the story. Unfortunately, there had to be a bottom, and it went to Ghost Garden. The historical basing and mystery elements of this book were on point. However, it was essentially a short story premonition to an event that didn't occur during the book. This is so difficult, but this place probably has to go to Double or Die because I preferred the first one. Sequels are hard, even with unchanging protagonists, but book 1 stayed with me, and this one was forgettable in contrast. A road trip across London with high stakes that I wasn't really feeling because of the jittery pace I read this book. Up next is Always and Forever Lara Jean, and whilst I enjoyed reading this, some part of me was like, what's the point? If they're just going to break up and get together again like all the other books. It was just like all the other books though, a cutesy romance between 2 people destined to be together, and them realizing it by the end. And if you like that, then you will enjoy this. Now it's The Housemaid's Secret. If you've read this, you'll know the complete 180 this book takes. Like, it did a full Gone Girl to us. I was a little uncertain about it, more uncertain with the ending that seemed to be there just to give a dramatic prologue, but decent for an easy-to-get-through thriller. At number 5, we have 5 Feet Apart. It was giving me John Green, Fault in Our Stars vibes, and I was all for it. The movie looks amazing, and the book holds up too. 4th is Extras, because this book managed to surprise me. Somehow the sequel with prequel vibes managed to be better than all of its predecessors. Published at the beginning of social media age, this book goes deeper than just societal pressures to look pretty, but into an inspection of a social media-run society. I was not expecting that from the final installment of the Uglies series, and was glad for it. This book went beyond all of my expectations and was the best way to end this series. I have written way too many A4 pages on why Jekyll and Hyde is good, so to keep it brief, old people are good at writing, and if their book has managed to stay in print for all that time, it tends to be good. The one thing Amazon got right was recommending me this book, an independently published YA novel that explores the effects of bullying through dream sequences. It is both realistic and escapist and deserves to blow up in popularity at some point. At number 2, we have The Book of Lies, which is a mixture of family drama and crystal witch spells type stuff, set in the UK. Terry understands UK weather, and also all the drama and stuff behind this is just so good. I don't want to spoil anything more because there is a subtle creeping plot thread running through it that is perfectly executed. So if you like witch type stuff and family drama, check this book out. First place had to go to Cuckoo's Song. This book understands pacing. Right from the off, we have the fantastical elements that are only developed as this book progresses. The best folktale exploration book I've ever read. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the covers in the books. More often than not, better covers are with better books, although these covers do not determine the quality of the books. Whilst it is easier to pick up books with better covers, it's oftentimes the books that can't afford the best cover artists that can be the most impactful, which is why I'm making videos about books I read, so you don't have to judge books solely on their covers. This video has been so fun to make, and I hope you've enjoyed watching it. All the books in this video are good since they have stayed on my bookshelves, so if any of these sound like something you'd be interested in, please feel free to check them out. Thank you for watching this video to the end, and if you enjoyed it, please feel free to like and subscribe. Bye!